You know that delicious ache when two characters orbit each other for chapters? One lingering glance at a party, a text that's never sent, a conversation cut off right before the confession? That slow, steady buildup makes a certain kind of romance feel inevitable and irresistible. Today, we're unpacking why patience in romance reads as sexy, where the slow burn came from, and the emotional mechanics that make drawn-out attraction so satisfying. Let's start with a little history, because the slow burn didn't appear out of nowhere. Long-form courtship is baked into much of classic literature. Think of novels where prolonged acquaintance, letters, and social constraints stretch attraction over time. Serialized fiction and epistolary forms in the 18th and 19th centuries trained readers to wait. Authors released feelings and reveries slowly, and the suspense became part of the pleasure. As social norms historically restricted direct declarations of desire, novels focused on subtler signals, a shared glance across a drawing room, the tilt of a head, or the tension of a near kiss. Those constraints are part of why slow-building intimacy became a storytelling staple. Fast forward to the present, and the slow burn has only evolved, not vanished. Modern romance borrows those restraints and translates them into contemporary settings. Work romances where boundaries must be navigated, long-standing friendships that shift unexpectedly, or enemies turned allies who discover shared vulnerability. The setup is similar. The longer the path to romance, the more time readers have to know the characters' interior lives, values, and small, repeatable gestures that feel like secret languages between them. So what's happening in our brains when we read a slow burn? Anticipation is a big part of it. Expectation and suspense activate the same reward systems that make us rewatch cliffhangers or wait for the next episode of a favorite show. Every close call and almost confession creates a tiny spike of emotional arousal, and those spikes accumulate. We become attuned to cues, a lingering touch, a protective instinct, a shared joke, and our investment deepens as we speculate about what will happen next. Another emotional ingredient is familiarity. As characters spend time together, we, the readers, learn their rhythms and vulnerabilities. That knowledge breeds attachment. We start to root for not just the romantic union, but for the character's growth. Slow burn works because it mixes growing intimacy with the satisfaction of earned connection. The payoff isn't merely a kiss, it's the validation that these two people have actually come to know and choose one another. There's also something satisfying about tension itself. A well-crafted slow burn intentionally balances frustration and hope. Too much delay with no movement, and readers lose patience. Too quick and the emotional weight evaporates. The most effective slow burns give small gifts, a soft touch, a protective gesture, a private conversation, then retreat. Those micro payoffs keep interest alive while preserving a sense of longing. Authors use a handful of pacing tricks that feel familiar, even if you can't name them. They plant recurring motifs, a song, an object, a hallway where characters always meet, that accumulate meaning. They let characters misinterpret one another, which stretches the timeline without making readers resentful, because miscommunication feels realistic and keeps the possibility alive. They intersperse scenes of warmth and vulnerability with external obstacles, family expectations, career moves, or literal miles between two people. These obstacles make each step forward feel hard-won and emotionally weighty. Certain tropes practically beg for slow burn treatment. Friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, and second-chance romances all benefit from time. Friendships deepen, antagonism softens, old wounds heal. The will they won't they rhythm, think shared glances, jealousy, and growth, is a template for drawing out desire without losing momentum. Why is the payoff so delicious when it finally arrives? Part of it is catharsis. After sustained tension and emotional investment, a confession or a long-awaited kiss resolves the suspense and floods us with relief and joy. That moment feels earned because it's not just about physical attraction, it affirms mutual understanding, trust, and emotional vulnerability. For many readers, that's the moment of true romance, not just the union itself, but the recognition that these characters saw each other and still chose one another. If you're a reader who savors slow burns, you know the other joys that come with them. Lingering scenes that let you replay lines in your head, repeated small gestures that resonate differently each time, and the pleasure of theorizing every chapter. Slow burns invite community, book chats where people dissect every near miss, gifts of longing looks, and countdowns to that decisive chapter. If you want to play with different slow burn flavors, a workplace simmer, a historical restraint, a modern friends to lovers, Endless Romance offers a playful way to explore how trope, setting, and character choices change the shape of that simmering tension. You can experience many versions of the slow burn without committing to one long novel and see which pacing and payoff styles you love most. Before we close, here's a tiny reading suggestion. The next time you pick up a slow burn romance, notice the small recurring details and the micro payoffs. Pay attention to what keeps you reading between the big moments. Those are the little engines that make the slow burn feel so alive. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss more deep dives into the tropes we love. Visit the episode page at endlessromance.net for links to a few slow burn favorites and a gentle invitation to try different romantic setups in the Endless Romance app. Thanks for listening, savor the simmer, and I'll see you in the next chapter.